Hello everybody. In this particular video we will discuss about multi-channel and omni-channel retailing. So multi-channel retailing is that kind of retailing where a particular retail company has multiple channels to access the customers. That means they might have an offline channel, brick and mortar store. They might have an online channel, which is a e-commerce website. They can have an m-commerce website. They can have social e-commerce. All of these things are available, or more than one channels are available, then we call it multi-channel. But it becomes omni-channel. The same multi-channel becomes omni-channel when all these channels, which are some are online, some are offline, some are internet based and probably desktop internet based, some are PC based, some are mobile based, all of these things are actually in sync, and the strategies are in sync. There is no separate digital strategy, no separate I would say brick and mortar strategy. When the strategies are taken into consideration together, where all your marketing plans and programs are taken into consideration together, then that kind of a program is called omnichannel retailing. So if we further go ahead on this particular topic, omnichannel retailing is a retailer sells to consumers through multiple retail formats like websites, physical stores, smartphone apps, social media, as I just told. And cross-selling across channels is a very prominent, I would say, characteristics in omnichannel retailing, because when all these things are interconnected, all the I would say channels are interconnected, then somebody comes to your website, let's say, he or she actually looks through your website, checks the products and etc. Now, oftentimes the first particular visit, this particular person will not buy something. So buy or conversion happens through multiple impressions. It's not a single impression through which you actually can target a customer. Now, if that is the case, that you have to create multiple impressions, then if you can target in a 360-degree way, if you can target the customer from all the different directions, then the chances of conversion is higher. And that's why what we do is we try to do cross-selling and upselling through multiple channels. For example, let's say you have come to the website and we say that, okay, why don't you come to our store, and in the store these things are available, which is not there in the website. Or if you are in the store, let's say Urban Ladder does it. If you remember, Urban Ladder in Bangalore has a huge warehouse kind of shop where you can go and you can have a visit, and because it is warehouse, the cost of warehouse is very low, and you can go and visit this particular store. You can look at the furnitures and etc. But you will be probably giving the order there. The order delivery will happen through online channel. That means that even if you have ordered through online, like Lenskart, we also have done the same thing in Lenskart. Lenskart, there are lots of retail stores of Lenskart. You go and give order, but whether you buy online or offline, the delivery channel, the logistics follow the same path. So there is also omnichannel where the online and offline things are interconnected with each other. In fact, when you try to give order in Lenskart, they ask you that what is your login ID for your Lenskart account, or they ask you what is your mobile number which is registered with the Lenskart account, because that is the number or login ID where all of your details are stored, and based on that they already create an account, even if you probably go to the brick and mortar store. So that is a strategy where multiple retail channels are working together. Cross-selling across channels, so in-store product availability info on website, you get that. Consistent pricing in all channels, this is also very important. You have to make sure, and there are, at a later point of time when we'll discuss retail pricing, we'll talk about discrepancy of this particular point. But in general, we try to have a pricing consistency. That means if the price is X amount of rupees in the one channel, it should be the similar amount in multiple channels. And you can buy and return product regardless of the channel. Means you can buy a product online and return it offline, or buy a product offline and return it online. So these kind of things are coming up. What we call it reverse logistics of retail, where how your returns will be handled, whether it will be handed online or offline, whether you will drop it somewhere, or whether it will be picked up from your home. All of these things are also interconnected through multiple different channels. So that kind of strategies, all of these things comes under the omnichannel retailing concept. Now, each channel has a different role in omnichannel. For example, a store is basically a try-on, ease of return. That's why you go to a store, because you can go and try your clothes on your own, and you can probably, it's very easy to return because there is a person whom you can explain that why you're returning and you don't want, and you probably get the monetary money back then and there. So the availability is fast. There's the immediacy. Means, for example, if you have very urgent need of a thing, you will not give an order in online. You will go to the store and buy it. You can compare the offerings. So all of these kind of benefits come in the store. On the other hand, Wave has different kind of benefits. First, the basic benefit that Wave gives is it is available 24/7. All of the time it is available. You can get detailed product information. You can do lots of research in the information basis. You can do lots of research in the web. The product reviews by customers are readily available, which is not there in the store. And then you can also do a little bit of personalization in the online store. You can, at one point of time, I remember Dell at one point of time used to sell through online only. So you could go to the online store and you could customize your Dell laptop, and then that Dell laptop will be made in Singapore or somewhere else, Taiwan probably, and then it will be shipped to you. So only after you tailor-made the Dell laptop and then you order the Dell laptop, then only this laptop will be made. Obviously, mass production was not happening at that point of time. But that was a thing at one point of time, and it was only possible because they were using web. For most current pricing, you can check. We all of us, we do that whenever we go to the retail store, we check the online, what is the pricing in the online store also. The closeout sales are very much available. You can also get the catalog permanency or true color of the catalog. All of these details can be obtained from web. So store and web has two very different purpose in the context of omnichannel retailing. Now, in this particular context, there is certain behavior that comes up and that becomes a headache sometimes for the retailers. One of them is web grouping and another of them is showrooming. What is web grouping? Web grouping is when you browse online, when a customer browses online and then he buys it in store. On the other hand, showrooming is exactly the opposite. You browse in store and you buy online. So I will ask you to stop this particular video here and think that for which kind of product categories you do web grouping and which kind of product categories you do showrooming. Just think a little bit. So if you ask me, I generally do showrooming for, let's say, products which are let's say AC, fridge, durable products, huge cost products. I generally go to the retail store at least till some point of time. Before, I was very habituated with the online retail, online e-commerce. Before that, we used to go to the retail store and we used to see the products and etc. And then we used to come back, and many people do that. They will come back and buy it online. On the other hand, for some other products, for example, let's say some clothing or some apparels, you might browse it online and then go and buy it in store. Let's say it can be even the, let's say, jewelry, Tanishq jewelry. You might not want to believe on the logistic supply chain, whoever delivers at your home, that whether that particular product will be safely delivered at you. So what we'll do, you will browse it online in the Tanishq website, what are the designs available, etc. blah blah blah. You will pick up the design numbers and then go to Tanishq store and ask them that whether these designs are available, and if these designs are available, you will pick it up from there. So that kind of a behavior is web grouping behavior, and the other behavior is showroom behavior. Now, this makes omnichannel retailing further more important. Why? Because unless you have presence and in-sync presence in both online and offline, Then if you do not have that, then what happens? Then somebody will go to offline, and then if you do not have a strong online presence, it will buy from Flipkart or Amazon. Similarly, if Flipkart and Amazon knows that it is a threat for them, that somebody can come to the store, he can do all the research in the e-commerce and then go and buy from a offline store. So this kind of a behavior is very prominent in consumers, and we have to deal with them. So what me and Professor Shravanti Mukherjee did is, in the last batch, we actually ran a survey with the students of retail marketing, and we tried to find out, and not actually retail marketing students only, we actually asked to other first year market MBA students also, regarding buying a mobile phone and buying I think some hedonic product. So one was utilitarian product and other was hedonic product. And we wanted to know that what are the behavior, what are the drivers for which you actually do showrooming, and what are the other drivers for which you actually do web rooming. So we found that these are the basic concepts. So some of the consumer related variables. For example, I will do online search if I have self-efficacy. That means I think I can do online search. Or I have a variety seeking behavior. I need lots of information before I make a purchase. And I have an enjoyment in doing this kind of a research. So then probably I will go for online search than offline search. On the other hand, if my risk perception is high, or if I have enjoyment in the offline side, for example, I would love to go to a retail store, let's say, with my friends. So enjoyment can be both sides. Enjoyment can be if I enjoy to do the research on my own, or rather than I enjoy to visit the retail store with my friends. So whichever side the enjoyment is, that side you will probably go. And then you will have an attractiveness. This particular retail store is very attractive that you want to go there. So all of these things will lead to intention to buy, and the previous one I will talk about intention to search, and these are consumer related variables. Then there are certain variables which are purchase context related. For example, product type, whether it is hedonic or utilitarian. Whether you are in a time pressure. If you are in a time pressure, you might probably buy it online. But if you are in the urgency, there are two differences. Urgency means you need it very quickly. Time pressure means you don't have time to do all the search. So if you don't have time in your life, you will order it online. But if you urgently need something, you will order it offline. Similarly, if you have time pressure, you will probably, I do not know, depending on how much distance you are from the retail store, you might choose whether you will be doing the online search or offline search. If you have a huge need for touch and feel, for example, for various people, the clothes or the food that they eat, they want to touch and feel and then they buy. So if your purchase context is such that if it needs touch and feel, then you might probably go for a offline search rather than online search. For example, if you buy a mobile phone, you might not go for a touch and feel, or a very standardized electronic item, you might not go for a touch and feel. But if you are trying to buy an apparel product, let's say clothes, you might probably need to have this touch and feel requirement. So that's why purchase context is also something that contributes. And obviously the last one is channel related variables. For example, whatever channels that you have faced, whether the enough information is there. If enough information is there, you would like to do search there. If it is not there, you might not look to search. And then there is price and convenience issues. Price, obviously we actually expect that online will give lesser price because the logistics costs are less, the warehouse costs are less. So if that kind of situations are arriving, then also we will go for online purchase. So overall, all these things leads to either online search or offline search, and then online buying or offline buying. Now, online buying will have a positive. So online buying, web rooming means what? Web rooming means browse online but buy in store. So that's why browse online, that means online search will have a positive impact with web rooming, and online buying will have a negative impact on web roaming, and exactly the opposite. So this kind of a model we created. All this I will share this particular picture with you guys, and all the red lines are basically negative and all the blue lines are positive, and some of the models we have created, the exact values of the models are given here. So this kind of a model actually gives you an idea that what is web roaming and what is showrooming, and why in the omnichannel context understanding of these things are very important. Thank you very much for being with me in this particular video. I will see you in the next video.